So, okay, I had a lot of questions in the last 2 or 3 weeks of how to get started, where to get started, because I focus on harmonic patterns. A lot of great technical analysis stuff out there, and a lot of people already using their own strategies, what have you. So I focus on harmonic patterns and encourage everybody to kind of take that framework and just study the framework, incorporate it with whatever you're doing. Um, so go to harmonictrader.com. That's the place to really start. And then I'm gonna bring it over here. All right. That didn't work. I'll do that at the end. Go to harmonictrader.com. Get with the basic membership. We don't have time. Let's go back to the charts. I'm on a different computer today because of my main one is so slow. So sorry for that. But this was what I was teasing everybody with. And only because the one issue that I've really highlighted, been of a concern, are the different data feeds that yield slightly different yet incredibly significant pattern differences depending on your time frame, if it's a futures market, if it's a small brokerage versus large brokerage. That's going to really matter. So the larger patterns have been critical. What I was showing everyone, this is our beta for stock charts. It's not available yet, but I just wanted to flash a couple of the real interesting patterns that have been generated on this and compare them to TradingView. This is for Harmonic Pattern Collection. Again, I don't know when this will be available, but I think it's good to kind of reference it. It's been giving some real nice, clearer patterns, although the data is different from most. Here's Ethereum in our 2 panel, and let's go back to back on this. Bring up the 4 hour and look at what Ethereum has done. On the daily time frame, folks, we came back here on a type 1 reaction, and so we're really entering now this full retest. It's actually not as bad as I think as a lot of people are thinking. We're still here with this, just another reaction where we need to come back, probably retest the hop eventually at 28.20. And the target one is perfect support. So we've just been continuing to zigzag up. Last few weeks, I've talked about complex structure in RSI and amplified RSI, especially something like this. Okay, let me just highlight that on the one screen. Okay, one screen, one screen. There you go. Yeah, I'm expanding this. I had 2 panels up. I don't think it's going to come up right. Okay, thanks. So here is again, Ethereum reacted off the deep crab right at the 1618. This was the really significant rally just into almost exactly off of the 1618 with the other numbers in the deep crab, but we know that's just a type 1 reaction. And with HSI right here, basically 2050, 2068 is your immediate support with the next move up to 2820. It's a lot different than what Bitcoin looks like. The big thing that is of consequence with Ethereum, and I'll go to Bitcoin in a second, is ending up to be this massive what's happening in RSI. Okay, on the daily, pretty clear, real nice pattern, and it still suggests we have to go higher. On the weekly, this is a bit nicer, more constructive for the bulls. It's a better way to say it. Where's my trend line marker? Thank you. There you go. And clearly on a major uptrend still intact, despite as severe of that move from the last 48 hours. The huge thing to note, if you're looking at RSI, and that's our middle indicator here, or amplified. So again, if you're not using harmonic pattern collection, my software, and you're just using RSI and you're manually drawing, that's fine. But you need to know the differentiation of RSI formations. Harmonic pattern collection does it all automatically. And what we have, I've talked about this complex structure where we were looking for consolidation, where this is still a pause. But look what's happened. We've now gone right back up into the zone. And this is something where we want to watch this weekend into next week. But if we keep going up and break out, even despite the last 48 hours, okay, this is suggesting still more time as we grind in this uptrend. Look, this has been a really demonstrative uptrend where people freak out over these 10-20% corrections. Yeah, let me see why I can't go full screen. I think it's not, I don't know what the heck's going on. Hold on, let me change this. Sorry, it's kind of annoying. Let me see if I can change this. No, I don't know what. One second. Let me see if I can fix this. I have it on the individual window, and I don't think it's good. Let me go display capture. Now you need to tell me if this is totally whacked out. No, I think I don't know why that's doing this. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I don't know. No, it's not doing what I want to do. I can show you a canary, but I don't. It's not. That was a joke. Hold on. I'm really bothering me right for this second here. Yeah, okay. Let me get back to it. Anyway, so let's just work this out for Ethereum. Let me know. We're still climbing. You can use your week over week ranges. 2000, 2050 is our clear support. And our larger targets at 25, 2700, especially with that 4 hour. Yo, shout out. Mitch Ray, TA, is here. What's up, Mitch? The man. Guys, check out Mitch Ray every night, 7 days a week. Mitch Ray, TA, please. He's on it. You're on at 6 o'clock every night. I missed the show last night. I fell asleep. The late night chat. They do a late night chat. Check out his membership. It's an insane amount of content. Welcome, Mitch. So, Mitch, you'll be happy to hear because I know we've been chatting on this one in Ethereum. So we got the target 1, type 1. We now have a bullish HSI that's in our favor, going back up. The other thing with amplified and a lot of these on that most recent test, this was just a pullback, just consolidation. And again, this is check last week's and the week before, but we're having a lot of these complex consolidations and then the return. That's what's happening here. And this is also happening. You break it down your daily, weekly, as I was showing. Okay, there's the daily time frame. And look at what HSI is doing here. Harmonic Strength Index, that's our proprietary indicator. Okay, and this has been for me, this is kind of my secret weapon I've been working on for years of giving me an indicator that can really detect reactions versus reversals. And so that's what's telling me right now for Ethereum. This is just a reaction. We're still going to consolidate for a while, and I'll make a run at 2820 sooner than later. Now, what I want to highlight, and one of the reasons why in my couple of the posts I said things are changing, they are changing. I mean, fundamentally, when you get news like capital gains going to 43%, that kicks you right in the nuts, quite frankly. Work very hard for my money, as everyone does. Trade the markets or whatever. But 43.6, sorry. So that's my little two seconds on that. But it really bothers me. Here's the daily on Bitcoin. And again, we're still in that kind of reactive complex structure. Here we have from the last several days since last week, that complex structure that rolled over up at that around 64, 63, just is giving us another little pullback. And that's all this is. We're grinding until we make the next set higher. A beautiful ABCD pattern, but again, another pause. And this is okay. I mean, listen, despite as severe as it seems, this stuff is better. You want to see this grind. You don't want this thing to moon. And I think part of the problem with the whole crypto space is that you have too many of these guys that they'll just look at a regular chart and then throw up about 5 or 7 of the same fundamental stories that everyone's talking about. We know everyone's coming in. Who's looking at the price action? Who's doing the technical analysis? I know Mitch Ray is. I am doing with the harmonics, and what we're doing, and what people that are really looking at price action, not just saying, hey, Ethereum's going to 10,000. How is it going to get there? Because it's going to move up and down. It's going to do a whole bunch of 20, 30% corrections, 50% gains to get there. That's just how it moves. So that's the reality I think is missed in the space. We're just at a point now, and as technical analysis, harmonic patterns give us that distinguishing situation. Where are we in this whole space of this uptrend? On the daily time frame, look, we've got our first HSI reading, and every reading, I know every reading is saying oversold for us and for harmonic strength index. Okay, the fact that we're not only oversold, but we're deeply oversold. We're under zero. That's a extreme condition. And we also have this linked up with amplified, and amplifieds are, that's our hypersensitive RSI, but that tells us we're pretty deep right now. Would love to see standard RSI come down a little bit more. It's close. I don't know if we'll get there, but it's close. And I suspect this is going to terminate pretty soon. Maybe we come down a little bit more. We're already above 50,000. This dips back down to 50,000, 48,000. Take a look at the hourly or 4-hour time frame. The readings that we have here. Really nice bullish RSI BAM on amplified. That's what that green line means. We have our initial test. That was the first crash low from Sunday night. That gave you a W formation. And just like we were talking about last week on the top side, where we have a bearish structure, this is coming down. We had another one on the bullish side. So complex structure goes up, hits the 50, goes back, gives you divergence. That's a strong signal, and this is at a 1618. Right there, that's a 1618 off the low. I think it comes up on an hourly. So you're seeing a lot of signs. Yeah, look at the crab. We're generating a couple of crabs here. And this is the one thing about this platform I really like. I think the data feed is a bit smoother. I still am trying to learn more about where Stock Charts gets their data, but hopefully I'll have this available in a few months. They don't have all the cryptos. That's another thing. They only have these. But I think that will change soon. But my whole point that I want to share with everybody, this is some technology that only I have my hands on. And I'm running multiple versions because of the different data feeds to really pinpoint the best levels and patterns. And so with Bitcoin giving us a number of these structures here, 49.5, I even have HSI on a 4 hour at 48,000. There's a lot that says this is fairly washed out for now. So let's go over to the TradingView platform that everyone has. And let me bring that up. Like I is my hope we can do something to test that canary pattern. It's kind of funny, but it's, you know, it takes some time. It's something that Mitch and I were looking at, but um, you know, I will have something to share with that fairly soon. Okay, so let me go to that other one. What happened to, hold on. Do you give your software for free in your certification course? Yes, that's included. So get that. Again, start with the basic information, the basic membership. Yeah. All right, there's the euro. We're not getting that. 1 second. Hold on. Before I do that, let me do one other thing. I wanted to show Bitcoin futures. Damn. 1 second. Guys, give me 1 minute. Let me fix this. Okay. Let me jump over. Do it this way. And quick look, jump to TradingView. This is most of the same patterns. But again, for those that haven't heard me say that before, really important to run multiple feeds on Bitcoin, Ethereum. You're going to see slightly different patterns, or you might get patterns that materialize on one feed and not the other. So here is the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin. And again, we're seeing a lot of those same formations that we saw on the stock charts chart. And I just wanted to show that to really kind of look at the slight differences, but still most of the signals, HSI, amplified, those are all going to remain the same. Now we have yet another complex structure, but take a look at what's happening as I was showing on the other platform. We have this divergence. It's an RSI BAM simple divergence. There's no W formation on this one, which is a little bit different than the stock charts because of the time interval. Again, those are some of the issues where I'm trying to work it out, but just reference a couple of the big ones like Coinbase feed, obviously, and even the futures. Let me pull up. Here we go, cracking 50,000 at the moment. There's the Binance feed. And the thing that I'm looking for in all of these is notice that on Binance, we don't have HSI out yet. This is our bottom indicator. But you have all of the other formations you want to see. You have a complex M formation all the way up here. Okay. And what we want to see once that finishes is your first RSI. And that's coming, that's a little bit later, coming in over here. And it still probably won't come out until tonight, maybe into tomorrow. And again, that's probably going to pop over 50, get you to 52,000, but everything you want to see of being oversold is there. There's the hourly. Really, notice we don't have many patterns. Let's go to a standard candle. These are Heiken Ashi. Great way to look at different charts, but I like to use the standard candles. And here's what it's looked like for the past, I don't know, 3 weeks. A bunch of patterns that have been generated, yielding reaction, that's it, rollover, reaction, rollover. That's why the longer term time frames are important now. We need to finish. And here's on the daily. This is something I'm going to look for tonight. This is not a misreading. This is HSI deeply oversold. And that tells me we still need time. This is on the Binance feed. The complex structure that we do have a complex structure right here on the daily time frame, but look how far amplified RSI has sunk. All of that needs time. And that's a daily chart. So I'm thinking this weekend you've got some work to do. You've extended extremely beyond I think a typical oversold move. But we need to link up not only HSI but amplified. And I'm busting through a couple of these Bitcoin feeds. They're all showing you pretty much the same. We've either triggered we've either triggered HSI and we're doing some consolidation now, maybe just under 50,000 before we continue higher. This isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. And when we see complex structures like we had in Ethereum, and here's the new one that I want to highlight. We've talked about this for weeks. The M formation now in the indicator of Bitcoin. And as I said last week, that M formation in the indicator, this is amplified RSI. You can use this technique on standard RSI. You're just not going to get as many signals. But your M formation comes down now to the 50 line. And in a way, I mean, I don't use this as an exact thing, but it's certainly going to capture my attention. And I will look at this as actually kind of a Gartley formation M pattern where we look for this to come down to the 50 level, which it's almost there. It's at 51. That's on FTX. And that's a weekly signal. So I think this will hit the 50 level. The red line will go on, and by next week, we will start to look for that return to complete the RSI band. Yeah, I know the size screen. The screens, I'm going to edit this on the recording, guys. I know my other computer was just running way too slow. But the point being, look for the opportunity in this consolidation. And a big part of that will happen when we get to the 50 line on amplified. And RSI is doing kind of a sideways move itself. It's really not that big of a deal. I just am wanting to see the opportunity down here. And again, I really think that if this was going to sell off, it would be a lot lower by now. If this was really going to dump, look at how many weeks you have spent sideways. And sometimes it's a tough read because you think it's not going to do anything, or maybe you fear that might be it and might roll over. This is just looks more like a high level consolidation. Now let's jump over to and review Doge. Doge has been harmonic, has given us some great opportunities, and check the Twitter feed on everything that I've been kind of featuring. But check out Doge here on the hourly. And on my Twitter feed, these are the patterns. There was two patterns I was featuring. One was this bat pattern. That we were on this initial ride all the way back at 6 cents. This is back in the beginning, I guess like mid-month. We had some patterns on the hourly or 4 hour down here at around 6 cents. I think we had a complex structure too. Yeah, I think it was, oh no, it was even further back. So we're going back to March where we had the red line on, we had HSI there. Okay, it was all the way back here. It's now so scrunched you can't see it. And do check my Twitter feed because I've done a zillion of these posts on Doge. Looking for HSIs like oversold like that, and then playing them for upside targets, extreme 314s. This one, we were looking for 23. It went to 47, as many of you know. Just to capture, catch up on since last week, it's like this. We were targeting, yes, high, maybe a 314 or 3618 was about 2250. Yeah, somewhere in there. And it blew on through. Okay, so now what do we do with Doge? I mean, the other thing that I posted was the 4 hour bat pattern or hourly bat pattern where immediately said 40 cents, folks. And I was clearing out on that first test. Thank God. Got out of most of it. And then when it came all the way back, I think I was out. Yeah, I think I was out on this small second test. I was out before the full retest. I didn't capture the return, although we talked about, and I was looking for the return, but the bat here at around 40 cents, that was enough for me. And then we got the nice rollover. How did we, really distinguish it? There's a great question right there. How do you distinguish a reaction from a reversal? That's first, you ask yourself a couple questions. Is it the first time it has completed the pattern or the second? And do you have confirmation? What kind of confirmation? It's not difficult, but there's a few strategies and things you have to understand that are different depending on how they unfold. And we were looking at this bat pattern. We had, again, the one thing that we have been talking about is this complex structure. That's what we had on the initial run up to 46 cents, 43 cents, and then exhibited the same return dynamics. This is something for not only the indicator, but within the pattern framework. If you can understand that, if it's a little tricky now, come back, watch it again, watch the videos on complex structure. Go get my volume 2 book in the basic members basic members page and look at this confirmation strategies. Bring in HSI with it. We understand where the higher probability segments are. And on this secondary test, look what happened up in the overbought extreme. It was a big impulsive move. There was no M formation up here and comes back down. So we have something right now in Doge where we have on the reverse side, we have a W formation in that complex structure. So we're thinking, okay, consolidation pop, and then we'll look for the return. That fits within the whole pattern framework where our reaction, why? Because that's our basic assumption on the first test. We have confirmation there, but it's the kind of confirmation that usually needs a secondary test. See the green line go on? So my assumption with Doge is still work to do. Maybe we come to 26, 27 cents and then back down. Now I'm going to share a story with everybody of what happened in my position yesterday, because I took a shot going back in on the first test of 27 cents. We had a bat pattern. It was back to back, and that thing kind of morphed into this butterfly. And I caught it really clean. It was right off the 886 right here. Let me see if I can, I think it was on 30-minute. It popped, did a type 1, and then here it was. There was the bat. And I was looking for this to go as high as 37. So for me, I've been playing with this with serious size. Million, 2 million, several $100,000. I've been very fortunate with this thing. And it's been really good to me. The patterns have been great. So that's a combined of knowing my software and having the confidence to size up. Now, I caught this first entry almost perfect, and it jumped, almost, what's that, 20+%. I was looking for 30. And then what did I do? I got dismissive. And I want to share this with everybody because it's really important. Hold on. We're back. Yeah, my wife's the greatest. My wife is the greatest. Yeah, I'm clearing my throat. I'm clearing my throat. Are we back? Hold on. What about now, guys? Hold on. This is, you know what? I'm just having, it's Friday. That's why I want to be casual. It's been a long week. And so here's one. Let's get back to the Doge story. So I got dismissive, and it's one of the easiest things to do, and it's something that I think everyone needs to be aware of, is that we can't get dismissive. And I took a really large position where this is just not, it was stupid. And just being dismissive cost me sizable 6 figures. Or not 6 figures, sorry, 5 figures. I was just, I gave back a big chunk of the initial trade. So it's really important that I share that. Like, you need you guys to know that I'm giving this my all. And so when I'm posting stuff, Absolutely important to know, not only to follow the, you know, follow the measurements, follow the zones, but really important also to know that I'm not just throwing anything up. There's a lot of thought going into posting because I know people are really looking closely at this stuff and what I'm doing. Just to share that with everyone. So here's Doge, and go back to our 30-minute. Yeah, 30-minute. Come on. So we're looking for that. And again, for Doge, I'm saying come back all the way for a retest to about 15, 14. There's a number of things happening down there that from a price perspective are going to take time. But here's the another complex structure that we have been discussing: M formation, now coming all the way down to the 50 level. Thanks. Thanks. So I don't know if everybody has been uh, really following the measurements or not. I have to stress this. And if you're going to listen to what I'm going to say, you're going to have to stick to the numbers. If you miss it, there's always going to be another situation. But really important to me, the reason why I shared that loss story is because my analysis was telling me where it was going, and I calculated what that drawdown would be. I didn't even know if it would bounce back or not, and it has bounced back nicely. But for me, had I stayed in it, it would have been a six-figure drawdown, and I just never do that. So do not be complacent, especially in this market. It's not really so much I'm terribly concerned about the violation of any of these uptrends. I'd be looking for opportunities. I just think we're coming into a spot where we've got a lot to consider. I think we're going to see a lot of changes come quickly, so you'll have a lot of surprise moves. I think the easiest way to deal with it is be waiting. If you're not in crypto or you're on the sidelines, wait for days like yesterday. Wait for days like today where they stabilize and get ready for that next signal. So that one on Bitcoin and Doge and Ethereum, those were all really phenomenal moves, and we're just in another consolidation pullback. A couple questions. What do I think the average accuracy of the harmonics are? Well, that's a wide open question. It's a great question, but I have to share with you that what I've done in the last many years, really since 2000, when I came out with the first harmonic pattern program, was to define what is truly harmonic. And that is, there's a lot of manual things we can look at. There's a lot of ways that, you can measure extreme highs and lows. But the software has taught me that what is truly harmonic is a little bit different than I think the standard interpretation, even my standard interpretation of looking at highs and lows only. And so I have been going exclusively off of what the software generates. I'm trying to bring up those patterns that started all of this. I guess it was on a weekly. No, daily. And the key to understanding the accuracy of the patterns is the type 1, type 2 framework. If you understand that we have a reaction variable component to every pattern as a wave reaction, and then there has to be a retest, then your accuracy level increases dramatically. Because what's happening with a lot of people is they're getting in on a pattern and they sit on it. Let's bring up like I did with Doge. Okay, we did with Doge yesterday. Had to go to the doctor. Should I have been in that position? Probably not. I got the reaction, and here's another reaction. I think I posted there was a Bitcoin bat pattern, a big one. I think this was it. Okay, I posted about a week ago that absolutely failed. And in our stream, I think it was last week, we talked about the retesting this around 59,000. Why? Because of the type 1, type 2 framework. So how accurate are harmonic patterns? Seeing this work out, because this is a complete winner as long as you take it at target 1, but that's only the first move. The secondary test is where we're getting our bigger moves, but that fails at the hop. Your highest accuracy moves, folks, and everyone take notes, okay, are going to be the small reactive type 1 up to target 1 moves with a high degree of probability, with confirmation, with the correct pattern, and seizing that move at profit target 1. All right, so if you have a correctly measured pattern and you have X, Y, and Z, you have some kind of confirmation, and you know that it's just a reaction trade, this is an extremely high probability move. And what's the percentage? I'm going to say 70% of the time, 80% of the time with the properly measured structure, but you're only gaming from XA to target 1. That's where the probability lies. Beyond that, it's a manual discretionary decision. So I think it's probably something good for next week. And look at those things, and we'll bring it in to some of those things that are telling us what makes a reaction versus a reversal. And we can see that, I think, in Ethereum right now is probably the most representative of that concept. There's the hourly. There's Ethereum. We just had a Gartley. Great, perfect. Big Gartley automatically generated, but there's your confirmation. And now here we go for target 1. Down to target 1, reaction over. Now on Ethereum, looking for the return back up, retest 2,500. Then I'll look at this Gartley. Then I would think, okay, Gartley's probably got a larger signal at hand. So again, if you're not familiar with reaction reversal, type 1, type 2, indicator strategies, please check out the stuff on harmonictrader.com. Yeah, I'm having all kinds of tech issues today. So, Mitch, you're going to have to DJ for me next time. But next week, we'll have it together. But I'll share this with everyone. It'll be up, I'll have this posted shortly. But get with the free trials, folks. Test the software. If you send me a username to harmonictrader@gmail.com, that's the best email for me. Send me your trading username and get with our software here. The other one, again, go to Harmonic Trader and get with the basic membership. Let me just show everybody that, because I don't think a lot of it. I'm going to save the rest of it, guys. Let's do it next week. I'll get into S&P and NASDAQ. NASDAQ, I will mention we're up there. We want to watch the 14,000 level, 14,060, but still plenty of time. Go to Harmonic Trader, folks. And then, again, for everyone that's still here, sign up, basic member, where you need to start. And a lot of people have access to these resources. I think that's great. Check out the books. Get the free trial on the software and take 2 weeks. If you're new to the patterns, let the material kind of sink in, because at the end of that 2 weeks, that investment of time, you're going to be at a completely different level. You will understand the reaction reversal concept. Download the books right here. Get all 4. Get the videos and get started. All your questions are going to be answered in these resources. So appreciate it. Again, sorry for the tech issues, but we'll get that ironed out next week. We'll see everybody. I'll come back next Friday. Get with YouTube, get with the Twitter. You guys know me. and just keep your eye out for these kind of days like we had yesterday and look at them as opportunities. We'll get into that more next week. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Go check out Mitch Ray, TA. He'll be on tonight.